Welcome home, racing fans. Well, today I'm going to bring two of my favorite brands together. First of all, when it comes to slot cars, you got it, Slot It. If you're just getting started, you do the research, you'll find out this is one of our favorite brands in the hobby, and rightfully so. They have great performance, good quality parts, excellent fit and finish, scale to tail, and a decent price point. They really bring the value. And speaking of value, Professor Motor. They make a wide range of controllers. This one's right there in the middle ground, and that's exactly what I like. I've had these controllers before, and they've worked great, so I decided with the new trigger, I'd give it a shot. So I know these are going to work well together. I can't wait to get started. But first, I want to talk about the history of the car and what I like to do to educate myself just a bit more on what I'm driving. So another bonus of this hobby is it can educate you. For example, this car here, I can tell you that I absolutely had no idea this car existed, the series, anything, back in the 90s. It was not on TV around here, and I was preoccupied with my first career, and it wasn't until I was stationed overseas for a while that I was exposed to these cars and some of the racing history with fellow enthusiasts. But the slot car hobby has educated me a lot, because I sit here and I research these cars, and I have to tell you, it's just a lot of fun. It's a hobby within a hobby, really. So there's some great articles out here that tell you all about the Alpha. I like this from Revs Institute. Just tells you about the DTM series. There's so many images out there. So do yourself a favor. You're right in front of the screen anyway. Do the research, it's just a lot of fun. I mean, you might think, well, it's a four-door, it's just an old shoebox sedan. Yeah, but it was a fast-moving shoebox, okay, and very popular back in the day. And Martini, right? I liked it. So that's why I was at Professor Motor, and I said, you know what? Yeah, I'll have that. It's Slot It, they're fun, but the other half of this fun is just doing this research, just reading about these cars, all the engineering, technology they put into them back then. It's just fun to do. So, like I said, it's just another bonus of our hobby. So there we go. It's fun to learn about the history of the car. And as far as history goes, Slot It has a great history with this car too. This is not a new mold. It's been around since 2016 when I picked my first one up. And since then, I've collected a few more. Jaeger. Had to have Jaeger. But this McDonald's car, man, does it pop. So with that, I had to have this Martini. That'll complete the trifecta, so to speak, for a while. And like I said, the markings, the quality here on the outside is just, typical Slot It. It's what I expect from the brand. Everything's very opaque, very crisp, clean, and accurate. If you check those prototype photos, you'll see they've done a very good job, at least for me. But there's enough data out there that if scale realism, detail, everything else is just in the forefront, like I said, there's enough information out there for you to make your decision. I think that Slot It's done a fantastic job. I'm not that much of a rivet counter in a lot of ways, so that's just me. Mechanically speaking, I'll throw the data up there for you. Nothing's changed there, and that's fine by me. I like this little inline chassis. It's easy to tune, nice and smooth and quiet, and we've only got maybe 1,000 different tires we can put on these cars. That wheel is just one popular wheel. Anyway, on the outside and from the underneath, I'm not unhappy. It's exactly what I expected. So I think we're just going to go through this car, make sure it's lubed up, cleaned up, maybe an adjustment or two, and we'll let her go. And now it's time for everyone's favorite subject, tires. Again, if you're new to this hobby, like I said, this wheel on this car is just one of the most popular sizes, and there's no shortage of aftermarket tires. If you want to try some silicone, Quick Slicks 32. I like the extra firm compound. You can go firm but I do like the 32 size. It's pretty much as close to stock as you can get. Paul Gage tires, if you like the urethane, I'm telling you, Paul makes a great set of tires here, and I like the 1912-5 LM. Give these a try. I like the wider 12s on here. You have plenty of room, as you can see here. You have plenty of room in between the inside sidewall, right, and the chassis, and you won't interfere with the body. So you do have clearance, and you know what they say about wider. This is the way. Wider is better. But as far as aftermarket rubber is concerned, Sideways, you know, I like their compounds. They make a pretty good tire that works really well out here on the lumber. And I'll tell you, that's exactly what I'm going to try right off the bat. I'm going to go with the 1910 mediums, the PS1M and G. It's just a nice compound, and they just fit the wheel exactly the way you would want. So again, these are just a few options. Like I said, if you're just getting started out there, you'll do some research and you'll find out we don't have a tire shortage for this wheel. But I'm going to go sideways. We'll see how she goes. Just a little tidbit to the newcomers out there. If you're changing tires and this happens to you, don't panic. These cars are notorious for it. This is what we call a wheel insert. It's just a pressure fit. All you have to do is take it and press it right back on, and you should be good to go. You can use a little bit of adhesive if you want, but normally just making sure it's fully seated is all you need to do. So you didn't break anything, it just happens. Other than the tires, no major modifications. I just tidied up the wires right here at the quick disconnect, just located it here and added a little bit of UV glue and just gave it a quick zap. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. And then added some lubricant, just a small drop here and here on each end of the motor as usual, and on the bushings, and of course made sure just a little bit of lubricant on the gears. Underneath, I took the screws for the pod, I backed them out about 3/4 to 1 turn, had some really good float, and I just added a little bit of Gorilla Tape. You don't have to do that either. I'm just testing as we go, and that just gave it a really good dampening effect, but we still have plenty of float. And that's it. We're ready to button this thing up, give it a run. Another thing you can check is the wheel placement on the axle. Sometimes they're recessed just a little bit excessively. You can loosen up the set screw, bring the wheel out. I have mine set just flush with the body. That's pretty much where it looks right. And yeah, you know, wider is better. You can use the wrench underneath the case, or better yet, it's time to invest in a little bit better quality wrench if you're going to start working on these cars. I'll throw some part numbers out there. WE is just one of them. There's quite a few to choose from. As far as controllers are concerned, there's hundreds out there to choose from, and you'll see all sorts of advice. I can just tell you this, that for the average home racing enthusiast, you're looking to just upgrade from your set controllers to electronic. These 2120s, you need to take a serious look at them. No, they don't have all the bells and whistles, the adjustability, the knobs, and that's fine. They also don't cost hundreds of dollars. And I just don't think you need to spend that kind of money to enjoy models such as this. Well, I know you don't, because I've had them for years. Don't get me wrong. These are designed to be upgraded, and you can buy them with adjustable sensitivity, braking, all of that. And those do work. But for the money, this is under $100. This is actually right around $63, $64. This is just really easy on the budget, and it works very well. This is my test station, the blue lane here. So black, red, and white, nothing fancy. Alligator clips, gets the job done. And with the controller all hooked up, oh, that's really good. Again, we're just talking the basic entry level here. I have it set at 12 volts, but very nice. Excellent throttle response. Yep, that's why they've been around for a while. Good to go. tires were great on this track. Actually, the stock tires work pretty good too when they're cleaned up. But it's good rubber right here. Yeah, 4219, 39, 3/8. Really good. Nice and smooth. And again, good throttle response. For entry level controller like this, electronic, just works. Sometimes you just don't need all the bells and whistles. Sometimes we get too many of them. You just don't really need all that. A lot of times you just sit here and have fun with a slot car or recycling. But good quality slot car like slotted like this one, and a little nicer controller in your hand makes for a fun evening. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. As always, I look forward to your feedback online. You guys really step up out there and you help a lot of folks. And with this season coming up, there's a lot of newcomers gonna be out and about asking questions, and I know a lot of you take the time to help them, and I really appreciate it. I like to see that kind of involvement, and just appreciate you all helping out. Because remember, we were all beginners once, right? And that's right. Alright, well, just a lot of fun, as usual. We'll see you online.